What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to continue working on the P200 I have here. In the last video you saw that I completely rebuilt this engine. Some suspension came in, so we're going to start this video by replacing this little guy here. And then after that, I'll throw the motor back in. So yeah, you guys ready? Let's do it. Alright, so to remove the rear shock, it's just a single 13mm nut that's in here. Nice and easy. Remove that and the whole thing will just drop right out. Alright, so I'm gonna reuse the spacer on the rear shock just to get the same height, and I'm gonna replace this rubber bumper on the top, and of course put a new shock on. Alright, as you can see, I got the spacer off the old shock, cleaned it up a little bit, and I already put it onto the new shock. If you're wondering what shock this is actually a carbon shock. They sell them as a set at Mercado. I think it's around $150 or something like that for the set. I have never ridden on these, but my club mates say that it's pretty much a night and day difference when you replace the old suspension with something new. So that's exactly what we're doing on this bike. So like I said, I got the spacer on, and then I got a new rubber bushing for the top. You can just screw this on like this. Put it in the vise. Tighten up a little bit. There you go. Now it's ready to be put back in the bike. Okay, so this is as simple as putting the shock back in. I like to keep it straight like that before I tighten it. Whoever did it before kind of did a little crooked. But that doesn't really matter. So, alright, I'm going to tighten the top and this is done. Okay, now we're getting ready to put the motor back in. All it is this big giant bolt up here and then the rear shock bolt. Alright, I got the motor bolted back in. If you noticed, I like to leave the car box off of it when I go to put the motor back in, especially doing it by myself. With the car box in, it's really difficult. So yeah, now we got the motor bolted back in. I'm gonna go get the cables to where they're supposed to go and probably connect them, and then we continue putting the rest of the stuff back on. Alright, I've got all the cables connected to the motor. Mostly new cables. The brake one I had to reuse. Need another one. So, alright, now we can bolt the exhaust back on and the wheel. So I got the exhaust bolt back on, but for some strange reason, the kickstand doesn't go back, retract all the way. I'm not sure if they had it loosely put on before, but yes, I'm not going to do that. So I am probably going to maybe modify this exhaust, cut a little notch there, and see if it clears. Alright, that fixed it. I'll put some paint on here so it doesn't rust, and we can move on to the wheel. Alright, now let's get the gas tank back in. Alright, so I've got the gas tank here and the oil tank. I got new lines. I use these things, they're called Audiker clamps, but there's a whole bunch of different names for them these days because different manufacturers make them. But it's a stainless steel clamp, and it comes with these special pliers. All you do is kind of just pinch right here and it'll crimp them. So I've never had one of these come off, so I use these instead of a screw-on clamp. So I'll put one here. Just like that. Okay. Same thing with the oil line. When you're doing this, make sure whatever you do, don't use zip ties. Zip ties shrink and they'll come off. So that there like that. Same thing here. There you go. Perfect. All right, now let's drop the gas tank in. Okay, now that I've got the gas tank dropped back in, the lines coming out of the frame, we can go ahead and put the carb box back on. So on the carb box, there's a gasket up here and also a gasket on the bottom. So you put a gasket down in the case first, then install the carb box. And there's a screw that goes right here, and then there's another gasket there on top before you put the carb on. Alright, as you can see, I've got the carb all reinstalled, all the cables connected to it. Well, this fuel line's connected, but I gotta tighten that up with the clamp. I don't put an auger clamp on here, just because you may need to take the carb out to clean it later. So, yeah, this I do a disconnect. I did put an auger clamp on the oil line, though, right here. I also put a new intake boot on. So, yeah, this part is done. Next up, we'll be connecting these wires, and then hopefully we can kick it over. as you can see, I've got all the wiring all reconnected. I'm going to make sure it kicks over, then I'll put all the shrouds back on and the fan cover back on. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and put fuel in it, oil in it, and also gear oil. Alright, so I've got all the fluids in it. I am running premix in it right now because obviously the oil line is not primed full of oil. So yeah, let's see if we can kick her over. Looks good. Alright guys, there you have it. She runs. So yeah, we'll have to wait till the next video to take her out for a test ride, see if the clutch problem is solved, but I'm confident that it is. So yeah, that's going to be it for tonight's video. If you enjoyed everything so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.